Okay, here's a video I made on data types. If you notice the top left-hand corner of the screen, it's simple math data types, and then you read the buttons. Integer, single, double, long math, short math, string math. Does it really matter? Does it really make a difference? No data type declared, C type, and byte. Okay, I'm going to show you the code. So, just in case you don't know, we declared a variable called 1. We put a value of 12 in 1. Then we are going to divide 12 by 7. That's the algorithm. It's going to be constant throughout this whole program to show you the difference. So just to go over the in code view, the first one is it's going to be saved. It's going to be clicked on as an integer, then as a single, then as a double. Then we're going to talk about the difference between short math and long math, which I guess I can show you right here because you can't see that when the program's running. And again, this is the simplest math equation I can make. So here is let's see, let me get down where here is long. So same, the first line is the same, but 1 equals 1 divided by 7. I go again, 1 holds the value of 12. So here's the shorter version. 1 equals 12, and 1 divided by equals 7. This is the short version. Again, this is a very small equation, but if you're doing a lot of math, you don't want to do this over and over. So what happens is you get rid of the calling out the variable the second time. You take the times or whatever operator you're going to use, and you move it to the left of the equal sign, just like here. Okay, so that's the difference between long and short. They work the same. And we're going to talk about, okay, here I'm again the same equation, but I'm saving it. It's declared as a string. This one's not declared at all. This next one is a C type. So to explain that, this is one of the keywords in Visual Basic, and you probably won't use it that much until you are making larger programs. But basically, it's declared as a double, but then we want to change, let's say we want to change one of the variables into an integer. So you just if you just look at the difference above or below, you just put C type in front of 1, you put these in these brackets, and you put that little comma there. So it'll force a double down into an integer. Now when we run the program, you'll see these notes to explain anything I didn't just talk about. So let's run it. I think I have notes, so I'll explain it as I click it. Remember, it's 12 divided by 7. Okay, so an integer rounds off to a whole number. It rounded up to 2. Okay, here's the real value that shows up if you're using a single, and this explains what a single is. It's basically it's accurate to within 1 penny in 330,000. And you can count the decimals: 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I'll go to a double. Okay, this is a double is accurate to within 1 penny and 45 trillion. And you notice all these numbers past the decimal, and it stops because it starts repeating itself. 7 1. Well, it did it 3 times. 7 1, 7 1, 7 1. So maybe it stops at that point. I'm not a math expert, but that's a different. Okay, so let me just say this right now, that the difference in data types are the amount of memory the computer uses. So if you're making a really big program, you want to use the data type that fits the equation to keep down, to help speed up the program. If you had, let's say, 1,000,000 lines of code and you had to do 1,000,000 data types as double, let's say, you would have to run a lot more code. We're not going to have that. I'm sure nobody that's making videos on YouTube is going to have any problem, but anyway, that explains it. Okay, we went over long math. Let me just click it. Like I said, we had to declare 1 twice. Short math, we only had to declare it once. We moved it to the left of the equal sign, just like that little picture shows. Now here we're going to use, we're going to declare it as a string. Now remember, the numbers past the decimal point. Well, in fact, this is coming out as a double. So I think Visual Basic works in doubles if it's not declared. You know, it doesn't want to make a mistake on the short side, so it's going to the long side, which is using more memory, which is slowing it down if you're working in a huge piece of code. Okay, here I have no data type declared. So again, Visual Basic is going to the I believe, I can't find any data on this, but it's just automatically using a double. So really, if you think about this logically, at least that's how my brain works, you really use, let's say, integer to use less memory, and you get whole numbers. You use single to use less memory to get shorter numbers past the decimal point. But as we now see, that double, string, and no data are actually all the same. C-type, this is where we're going to start as a double and convert it down to a, I forgot what I converted it down to. Let's see if I can see it in front of me. Look at the top of the box. It was a double. I converted it down to an integer, so it should round out at 2. Yep. So it's just giving whole numbers. And the last one is byte. And this breaks it down a little bit more. This says that it's unsigned 8-bit. That's really the difference, is that the amounts of bits. So I think single and double are floating point math, which means it works to the powers of 10, which is another, you have to look that up. But I believe that a single and a double, no, a single is 32-bit and a double is 64-bit, and this is 8-bit. So in fact, the string, if I recall what we looked at, a string is working in 64-bit. It's converting it. You know, the way string works is it converts, it uses the integer math. It does the equation, and then saving it as string has to do an extra step to change it into a string, which is characters. So the number's already figured out. It'd just be like writing down the characters on a piece of paper. You're not doing any math, you're just writing it down. And by the way, it only goes up to 255. I've tried it. If you did let's say an adding equation, it would not be able to write 256. Kind of weird. Must be going back to the 256K days. I'm sure nobody uses this anymore, but I bet they use this on the when they went to the moon. They had the first time they went to the moon, I heard they had like this much memory or less. I mean, it was just, you saw them. What was the name of that movie? I don't know what that. They were in that machine. I can't think what it's called now, and they were trying to get the memory down, the watts down, or the amps down, and that was basically memory, because everything in a computer is working off electricity. So that's it. I want to show you one more thing that I made a video on snippets, and I have a bug here. I downloaded a program called let's see what it's called. I don't know. We'll go look at it. But so supposedly you're supposed to be able to highlight this code, click this, and it'll save into a repository. But it's not working. I got an email into the guy, and I'm not sure why. But you can just copy it, and let's see if I can bring this up. This here is a little Google app. I'll just do it for you. Maybe I didn't copy it, but that's how you do it. And then you save it, or at least I save it as VBScript. And then you can put a name up here. You notice, I think this is the problem where I'm getting that error. It must be sending it somehow through this connection instead of setting up its own host. So, and then if you click save, it'll ask you if you want to see it on GitHub, which is a cloud. So everything will be saved forever. And you could use this like snippets. You could make notes here. You could write what dim is, what integer is, what double is, and so. Or you can make little examples of each one, so you don't have to use your a notepad. I think the best way I found is go through about 10 different items and then put them all together like I did. And it makes more sense. That way, instead of writing one little program on a single, one little program on a double, just make it as simple as you can and then keep it in a file. And this is going to be my file probably. So that's it.